Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my April TBR jar. So if you have not already seen some of my TBR jar videos, I will link a playlist down below if I remember, which I might not because my memory is garbage sometimes, but I will try my best to link that down below and you can watch what I have been picking the past couple of months as well as last month and what I was supposed to read. But essentially I'm just going to pull some jars from a prompt. I'm gonna pull some prompts from a jar and then I will pick my books based off of that. It's really easy, super simple. There is a little bit of a game board element to it, but I will go over that in a second. For some housekeeping, last month I was supposed to read 4 books. I needed to read a book that was next in a series, a book that no one talks about. I needed to scroll Instagram and pick a book off of that, and I needed to read a book with a one-word title. So the books that I picked for that were all of these. And guess what? I read all of them. I did it. I completed a TBR that I don't think I've done at all this year so far. I don't even remember. But I did it. I read all 4 of these books, but I also read all of these books as well. Well, not really this one, but I read an ebook, so this is kind of my placeholder since I'm halfway through this one right now. So just to visually represent all the other books I've read, these are the ones. I somehow had a solid reading month the first couple of weeks. I was reading like a book a day. I found a bunch of books on Scribd that I owned. I sorted my shelves by books I don't have audiobooks for and books I do have audiobooks for, and that helped me a lot. So I was able to fly through a lot of books, and then, you know, 911 came back on the air and I went back down my fan fiction rabbit hole. So the beginning of the month was great for reading, end of the month not so much, but I still completed my TBR, so we are satisfied with that. The only thing I didn't complete this month though was my punishment. So last month I did not complete my TBR, so I did have to pull a punishment card, and it said to create a playlist for your favorite book, which is one that I've had before. And I didn't do it last time and I didn't do it this time. So on my game board, I do have to move back a little bit. So here's my board. On my original planning for this board game, I said that if I didn't complete a punishment, I needed to go from 0 to whatever space I'm on and pick a random number generator to move backward spaces. But then when I actually hit the punishment parts and wasn't completing them, I felt like that was just too cruel, because what if it told me to go back, I don't know, 40 spaces? That would just break my heart and make me not so motivated. So I'm just rolling a dice, or using my phone to roll a dice to then move backward spaces. So we're gonna ask good old Siri, she helps me a lot, how many spaces I need to move backwards, and then we will update what I get to move forward to. Does this make sense? I feel like I'm rambling. I don't even know. Roll a dice. She said it's 6 this time. It's gonna focus on me, but yeah, I have to move back 6 spaces. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to this blue one. So I've taken my punishment, but now I get to update what I did read. So for every 1 TBR book that I completed, I get to move 1 space forward. And I completed all 4 of mine, so I get to move 4 spaces forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, the next blue spot. But I also read non-TBR books. So for every 2 of those, I get to move 1 space forward, and I read 6. So I get to move 3 extra spaces forward. So 1, 2, 3. Over to this purple one. So I didn't really move very far. If I would have completed that punishment, I would have been quite a bit further, but you know what? At least I'm not super backwards, and I'm happy about that. And if you are wondering what I am aiming towards at the end of this, it's still a mystery. I've had some friends suggest some ideas, like buy myself a Sims expansion pack or go on a book buying spree. It's gonna be something like that. I'm gonna write them all down in an envelope, have some mystery envelopes, and pull that once we get to the end and see, because I don't want to lose motivation and like not care about getting a Sims pack or not care about going on a book buying spree by the time I get to the end. So keeping me on my toes. All right, we've gone over the books I read, we've updated my board. I now need to talk about the book club really quick. If you haven't already heard, me and my friend Serena from Read the Riot are host of the fanfiction readathon. We tried it out a couple of months ago and we had so much fun, and we loved fanfiction and talking to everybody about the fanfictions that we were reading, that we decided that we wanted to extend that out into actual books. And we figured we could make a book club that has fanfiction tropes, fanfiction elements, story retellings, and we created the Story Continue Book Club. And it is hosted within our Discord, which you can find in the description. But for the month of April, we are going to be reading Gallant by V.E. Schwab. The book says, all her life Olivia Pryor had wondered who she truly is and where she belongs. Her only clue was a slim, battered journal, her mother's journal, full of entries that seemed to show that she was unraveling and drawings that looked like blots of ink. Until Olivia notices a hand, a door, a bloom, a skull. Then a letter beckons Olivia home, to Gallant, the one place her mother's journal warned her never to go. Olivia goes anyway. Of course she does. What she finds is her last living relative and her family's manor. A manor with a ballroom, and a sitting room, and a study, and a sprawling, vibrant garden, and the crumbling ruin of a garden wall with an iron door. A door she must never open. But no one at Gallant sent Olivia that letter. And no one will tell her what haunts her cousin's dreams, what happened to her mother, or what lies on the other side of the wall. Did the shadows call Olivia home? What will they ask of her in return? So from what I've heard, this is also a Crimson Peak inspired book, which is why we picked it, because we felt like that would be a nod to fan fiction. And I believe within this month we are going to be trying to watch Crimson Peak together, as well as doing a Heartstopper read-along in preparation for Heartstopper to come out. So we have a lot of fun things planned. We have reading sprints scheduled for a couple of days out of the week if you want to read with us. So we are super excited. Link for all of that is in the description. Like I said, there are some other books that I'm going to attempt to get to in the month because I'm going to be participating in the Magical Readathon. I'm super excited, but I'm also very nervous about how much time I'm going to have to read everything. So I hope that this TBR jar does not make me pull more than 4 prompts. But if it does, I hope I can tie them into the Magical Readathon. And I will probably post a separate video for that and what my picks are for the prompts and what my character is and everything. So look forward to that, but let's get into these prompts. Let's see what I'm reading. Please don't be more than 4 books. All right, I've already shuffled and I'm just gonna pull. Number 1. Oh, this is very nice. It says a graphic novel. Starting off easy. I hope that doesn't jinx myself. All right, I am going to go with They Called Us Enemy by George Takei, and it says, in a stunning graphic memoir, actor, author, activist George Takei revisits his haunting childhood in American concentration camps as one of 120,000 Japanese Americans imprisoned by the US government during World War II, experienced the forces that shaped an American icon and America itself in this gripping tale of courage, country, loyalty, and love. So I've had this for quite a while now. I've been wanting to read it. I've been trying to fit it into a lot of my other TBRs too, but it just never seems to fit. So I'm very excited to read this. I know that this is going to be really heartbreaking and moving, and I'm really excited to get to this one because I've heard a lot of great things about it. So this is pick number 1. Prompt number 2. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna be up to 5 prompts now. Dang it. Number 2 is current weather. So we are starting to slowly get into summer weather because it's Arizona, and Arizona does not do anything but kind of cool weather to really hot weather. So I need to find something that is more summer themed. I think I officially hate this prompt. I got something similar a couple of months ago, I think in January, and it took me just as long as it just took me now to find a book for this. So I still don't know if this is set in current weather, but I'm going to assume so based on the summary. So this one is Simmer Down by Sarah Smith, and it says, Nikki DeMarco knew her life wouldn't be all sunshine and coconuts when she quit her dream job to help her mom serve up mouth-watering Filipino dishes to hungry beachgoers. But she didn't expect the Maui food truck scene to be so eat or be eaten, or the competition to be so smoking hot. But Tiva's Filipina cuisine has faced bigger road bumps than the arrival of Callum James. Nikki doesn't care how delectable the British food truck owner is. He rudely set up shop next to her coveted beach parking spot. He's stealing her customers and fanning the flames of a public feud that makes her see sparks. The solution? Let the upcoming Maui Food Festival decide their fate. Winner keeps the spot, loser pounds sand. But the longer their rivalry simmers, the more Nikki starts to see a different side of Callum, a sweet protective side. Is she brave enough to call a truce, or will trusting Callum with her heart mean jumping from the fire pan into the fire? I think, oh, camera cut out. So I don't know if I said everything correctly, but it seems like this is a summer inspired book, or at least good enough weather to be on the beach. And I got this in a blind date with a book unboxing, so you can watch that there if you want to see me open that. But I'm excited to read it. It sounds really cute, and yeah, that's all. So we're gonna pick prompt number 3 now. All right, prompt 3 of 5. I go with this one, and it says an Instagram poll. All right, All right, I love polls, so I'm gonna go find a few books for that and get that poll running, and hopefully by the end of the video I will be able to tell you what won. All right, so I just put up an Instagram poll between It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover and The Roommate by Rosie Danan, and I'll just read what they say really quick. It Ends With Us says, Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. I'm gonna say Ryle. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily, but Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal novel, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at the ultimate price. I've heard so much about this one. I bought this for my mom for Mother's Day last year, and she read it in a day and said that she was sobbing uncontrollably from this one. So I feel like this will hurt me a lot, but I also know that it's turning into a movie or something, and I really just want to know what it's about. So I'm kind of hoping people pick this one, but at the same time I don't know if I want to be so broken. But that's what this one is. And then for The Roommate, it says, the Wheatons are infamous among the East Coast elite for their lack of impulse control, except for their daughter Clara. She's the consummate socialite, overachieving, well-mannered, and predictable. But every Wheaton has their weakness. When Clara's childhood crush invites her to move cross-country, the offer is too tempting to resist. Unfortunately, it's also too good to be true. After a bait and switch, Clara finds herself sharing a lease with a charming stranger. Josh might be a bit too perceptive, not to mention handsome for comfort, but there's a good chance he and Clara could have survived sharing a summer sublet if she hadn't looked him up on the internet. This one's set in summer. That would have been good for the last prompt. Dang it. Once she learns how Josh has made a name for himself, Clara realizes living with him might make her the Wheaton's most scandalous story yet. His professional prowess inspires her to take tackling the stigma against female desire into her own hands. They may not agree on much, but Josh and Clara both believe women deserve better sex. What they decide to do about it will change both of their lives, and if they're lucky, they'll help everyone else get lucky too. I've heard about this one just briefly on Book Talk, I think, and it sounded really cute, so I bought it. So I wouldn't mind this one either. And I mean, no one says I can't switch out a prompt in a month if I don't want to read Simmer Down and want to read this one instead, since I know it's set in summer. So maybe I'll read this one as well sometime in the month, but we will see what people pick. I will let you know, hopefully at the end of this, what has been decided. If not, I'll just put a picture on the screen. All right, prompt number 4 of 5. And it says, my most recent purchase. Well, I don't have to go too far for this one because Gallant is my most recent purchase. I did purchase it with another book, but since I have to get this book read in the month, I'm going to go ahead and use a prompt for this. So that worked out perfectly. And our 5th and maybe final prompt, which is to have nature on the cover. Okay, I don't know how I feel about picking this one, but I'm going to go with The Woman in Cabin 8 by Ruth Ware. It has like an ocean and rain on it, which is nature. So I also have the audiobook through Script, so that will help me get through this pretty quickly, but there is no summary on the back of it. It's just a bunch of quotes, and I can't find a summary inside. So let me pull up Goodreads and read what it's about, because I don't even know. I just bought it because it was on sale. Pardon me as I try and stumble over this. So it says, Lo Blacklock, a journalist who writes for a travel magazine, has just been given the assignment of a lifetime. A week on a luxury cruise with only a handful of cabins. The sky is clear, the water's calm, and the veneered select guest jovial as the exclusive cruise ship, the Aurora, begins her voyage in the picturesque North Sea. At first, Lowe's stay is nothing but pleasant. The cabins are plush, the dinner parties are sparkling, and the guests are elegant. But as the week wears on, frigid winds whip the deck, gray skies fall, and Lowe witnesses what she can only describe as a dark and terrifying nightmare, a woman being thrown overboard. The problem, all passengers remain accounted for, and so the ship sails on as if nothing has happened, despite Lowe's desperate attempts to convey that something or someone has gone terribly, terribly wrong. So, I'm afraid of the ocean, so this might not go well for me, but it sounds kind of spooky, it sounds kind of cool, and I hope that the audiobook will help me read this really, really quickly, because I definitely have a lot of other books to read if I want to participate in the Magical Readathon. But it's looking like these are going to be my picks for the month. I still don't have responses back yet for the poll, so I will edit that in with which one I'm going to be reading, but 5 books plus whatever I have to read for the Magical Readathon. I better get started on reading right away. Alright, we have made it to the end of the video. Go ahead and leave me the rain cloud emoji, just so I know that you've been watching this far, but 5 books plus whatever I'm reading for the Magical Readathon. I hope it's doable, and I hope to put out vlogs for the books that I'm reading this month, because I have been slacking on the content and I'm super sorry. But thank you so much for being here and watching and voting on that poll on Instagram if you did so. But I will see you in my next video, which I hope will come out soon. All right, bye.